Good morning, Loveland. I'm Mike Meldon, and this is the Loveland Weekly Podcast. Today, we will be talking with Doug Gilbert. Doug is a wildlife ecologist and works for an environmental consulting firm based here in Cincinnati. Doug is also the co-board president and CEO of Love Our Land, a local nonprofit organization that he and I founded together. He is going to set us straight on coyotes. Today is Monday, April 3rd, 2023. Doug, can you give us a summary of the history of coyotes in Ohio?
Sure. Coyotes are historically known to occur west of the Mississippi River. This is where they would have occupied grasslands, prairies, and other open habitats. When European settlers came and began to deforest the eastern United States, that opened up a whole wide variety of areas for coyotes to potentially enter and go into. Additionally, at the same time deforestation was taking place, the gray wolf, which was native to North America, it started to become eradicated and persecuted. And when it disappeared, the coyotes were able to really move in to these new spaces. Wolves historically would have kept coyote populations in check. Coyotes are scared of wolves, so they would not have entered into areas where there were large wolf populations. So at the beginning of the 1900s, we started to see coyotes moving eastward from the Mississippi River. And in around the 1920s, we started to see coyotes first appearing in Ohio. Since then, coyotes have become well established in all 88 counties in the state and have become really, really adaptable to the human environments that we've created here. And so coyotes, while they were not historically native to this region, their migration to the area was natural. And yeah, that's how we have coyotes here today.
Nice. Well, seems like all the time when I'm on the Nextdoor app that a lot of people are on, probably listening, people post that they see a coyote in their yard or see it in the neighborhood near them. What do we need to do if somebody spots a coyote? Are our pets okay? Are our kids safe?
So I'll preface that question, my answer to that question, by saying we want to really make sure that pets, children, small children, are supervised at all times in the outdoors. This will greatly reduce any chance or any risk of wildlife encounters going badly. So this includes, outdoor cats, letting your dogs stay outside for long periods of time, especially if they're small, and children that are small, we want to make sure that they're supervised at all times. With that said, these types of, aggressive encounters do happen, but they are very, very, very rare. Typically, when there is some type of interaction like that, what we're seeing are coyotes that have distemper, rabies, some type of pathogen that has led them to act aggressively and out of character. See, coyotes are very wary of humans. They see us as potential predators. They don't want us, being close to them. They really don't want to be close to us unless they can go unseen. The other way we see these kinds of encounters going poorly is if people are feeding coyotes. When coyotes, they can become habituated to receiving food from humans. And in that case, sometimes there are situations where coyotes may be aggressive towards a human if they're not getting the food that they've become accustomed to. And the last thing I'll say is about that is, like I said, coyotes they don't want to be around us. And when we are seeing these posts on Nextdoor, typically we're seeing them from Ring video footage or some other type of video footage. Most of the time they're operating under the cover at night. These are animals that they're not really out and moving about when humans are. So that further reduces any sort of risk between, coyotes and humans.
True. Yeah, I never thought of it that way. You're right. Most of them are from Ring shots. What roles do they play in our ecosystem?
So coyotes have a wide breadth in their diet. They are considered carnivores. However, their diets are very omnivorous. And we tend to see primarily them consuming small mammals like mice, rats, and rodents like that. The other thing that they do that is extraordinarily important is they scavenge. So if you find a dead deer, you see a dead deer carcass on the side of the road from a vehicle collision, that is going to get picked on by scavengers, and coyotes do that. The other thing that makes up a wide amount of their diet are fruits, seasonal fruits that come from our native plants, or if you have any type of fruit trees or things like that, these fruits fall to the ground, they get picked up by the coyotes, and very, very rarely there are pet remains found in the scat of coyotes. There was a pretty big study conducted in New York State that looked at the scat of coyotes. They examined 1,400 different specimens, and what they found was 1.3% of the scat consisted of cat and small dog remains. So very, very small, and it's very difficult to determine whether those were preyed on or they were scavenged. Because after the fact, that like I said, the coyotes will scavenge dead animals.
Great. So we know that they play important ecological roles. So how do we coexist with them? How do we humans coexist with them? Since they are important, we do need them here. And it seems that a lot of people are hesitant to have them in their communities. What do we do?
Right. See, coyotes are very important. Like you mentioned, they are one of the apex predators in our communities now. So they keep a lot of prey populations in check. So that's very important, and we do need them. And really, one of the most interesting things about coyotes is they're extremely intelligent. You wouldn't know that from the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, cartoons, but they are extremely intelligent and they can learn quickly. And if they learn that you are not to be messed with, they will pass that information down to their pups. So while a lot of people want to exterminate and eradicate coyotes and kill them on site, all that really does is it gives the opportunity to outside coyotes to come in and create populations. These are coyotes that haven't been exposed to humans and don't know that they are, not to be messed with. So what we really want to do is train the coyotes here in our communities. And one of the easiest ways to do that is with loud noises. If you happen to be in a situation where a coyote does seem to be getting aggressive or coming close to you, having an air horn or a whistle on you can help a lot. They do not like these, and I can speak firsthand to that.
Did you know that a recent study showed that more than 90% of consumers want to see more video content from companies they like on social media? Let JL Aerial Views provide you with their high-quality drone imaging. This Loveland-based team brings a new perspective to advertisements, social media, printed materials, and more. Visit jlaerialviews.com to learn more and to contact them today.
So the other thing that people really need to do to live harmoniously with these coyotes is to learn a little bit about their behavior. Learn what it looks like, what natural coyote behavior looks like, and learn about what aggressive behavior looks like. There are some things that coyotes may do that may appear aggressive at first sight, but are actually just them being coyotes. For example, this time of year, we're entering the pup season for coyotes, and coyotes are a little more protective of certain spaces, especially where their dens are located. And you may find yourself walking on a trail, and you may happen to look back and see that a coyote is behind you, kind of following you, and that may seem at first glance to be them stalking you. It could seem aggressive. However, this is just the coyote making sure you're leaving the space. In addition to that, they also do that to take the attention off of the den and put it onto the mother or the father, and to distract you from the den. And so they're really just trying to protect their pups. And I hear folks ask questions about, is it safe for my kids to be playing in the woods or in a natural space? Mike, I know your kids do that. My kids do that. And really what it comes down to is teaching your kids to understand these behaviors and these cues. If they see a coyote in the distance that doesn't seem to be wanting to come close to them or bother them, that's a very natural behavior. They probably feel comfortable being far away from you, but if you were to try to engage with that coyote, that would not be something we want to do. So teaching your kids, okay, this is what's safe, this is what's not safe, is vital. So, but I 100% fully support kids getting out in nature and engaging with the natural world and forming those important connections that will help them, help nature in the future.
Awesome. Thanks, Doug. I really appreciate you having this conversation. I think it's something that the community wants to learn more about and needs to know more about. So thank you.
I agree. Thank you.
In Loveland City News, the Loveland PD now uses the latest technology to stop and detect criminal activity. It's called Flock Safety Automated License Plate Readers, or ALPR. These readers have been placed throughout Loveland to capture the fingerprint of vehicles entering our community. These fingerprints include the license plate, make, model, color, and number of times the vehicle has been seen in our area. Alerts are sent to officers for cars wanted in connection with crimes, stolen vehicles, wanted persons, and amber/silver alerts for missing persons. Also in city news, Loveland will once again be giving trees away this year to those citizens living within the city limits. The application for the giveaway will go live on April 10th on the city's website. This is such a great opportunity, so make sure you jump on there early to secure your trees. Looking ahead in Loveland, on April 8th, Love Our Land in the Grail will be removing a large number of calorie pear trees from the Grailville property. They would love some help. To volunteer, go to the events page on www.loveourland.org. On Tuesday, April 11th, the Little Miami Chamber Alliance will hold its Feed Your Mind Chambers lunch series. The topic that day will be From 8 Tracks to TikTok, Bridging the Generational Gap. And on Saturday, April 22nd, Lemons and Limes Boutique and Tigers Inc. will have their Mother's Day edition of Sip and Shop, benefiting Tigers Inc. and helping to replace cafeteria tables at LES. These are great causes. We have something truly special here in Loveland. Thank you for listening.